Hello. This video is going to be about ratio schedules of reinforcement. So on the intermittent or partial reinforcement schedules, there are 4 of those. There are ratio schedules, and there are interval schedules, and then there's fixed and variable of each of those. This video is about the ratio schedules. So you have fixed ratio schedules, where reinforcement occurs after a fixed number of responses from the organism, and it's always the same number of responses for the organism. So it's predictable to the organism. So on the fixed ratio schedule, you actually get a post-reinforcement pause after they receive reinforcement, right? So it's a very fast rate of response, but then it's disrupted every time after reinforcement by this post-reinforcement pause. So it's not a consistent behavior from the organism. It's very fast, but then pause. Very fast, and then pause. Such as, the rat getting food for every 10th time it presses the lever. And it's always 10 times. So they take a little break after they get the reinforcement. But then you have variable ratio schedules of reinforcement, where basically it's an unpredictable number of behaviors. They're going to have to do it an unpredictable number of times before they get reinforcement. So there you get a very high rate of response rate, right? Very fast response rate. It's unpredictable. It could be the next behavior. The next response could lead to reinforcement. So they just keep going and keep going and keep going at a very fast rate with no pauses, right? So variable ratio schedules, you got a very high response rate from the organism, and it's very consistent. They don't take a break at all. They just keep doing it. And this is the schedule, of course, that we said that really casinos, within whatever guidelines the law has set for them to follow, basically program their slot machines to pay off on variable ratio schedules of reinforcement. Just unpredictably, after a certain number of plays, reinforce the player a little bit, and they'll just keep doing it all day long there at that slot machine, right? It's really addictive. You just want to keep doing it. It could be the next one could lead to that reinforcement, lead to that jackpot. So you keep doing it. And then one other point about both of these ratio schedules. Remember, reinforcement on ratio schedules is dependent on a certain number of responses from the organism. So the more quickly the organism can do the behavior, the more reinforcement they're going to get. So you have the very, very fast rate of response, right, on these ratio schedules. It's just that the variable ratio schedule with its unpredictable reinforcement keeps the organism engaging in very fast behavior, very, very high response rate, and no pauses. They just keep doing it very consistently at this fast rate on a variable ratio schedule. Fixed ratio schedule, though, very high response rate, very fast response rate, but after reinforcement, a pause. Very fast, a pause. Very fast, a pause. Right? So it's a very fast response rate, very high response rate, but it's disrupted by these pauses. So it's not a consistent high response rate because you have these pauses, post-reinforcement pauses that happen on a fixed ratio schedule. So hopefully this helps some for the ratio schedules.